Welcome back to Pipe and Tobacco Talk, the podcast. A podcast that's known to cause cancer to residents of California. I'm Jim, and with me, as always, Tim Beaumont from PapaBear's Pipe. Good evening, Tim.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I am excellent. I'm here hanging out with you tonight.
Yeah. We're at the Pipe and Tobacco Talk men's room where all the dicks hang out.
Yeah, you know, I wish that I didn't have any fun doing this podcast. I really do. I wish it was terrible. Well, it probably is terrible, you know, to our threes of listeners. You know, it's probably fine. But, you know, I always enjoy our conversations, and it's just a blast. You know, it's just something fun to do.
We would do this if we had listeners or not.
I think so. It's just fun, you know, talking to Ben and, you know, that girl he's got held in a hostage situation in a room. And,
right.
You know, it's fun. Right. It's fun, you know.
Yeah. I taught him everything he knows.
No, good.
Poor
Remember,
kid.
you have to hold the rag with chloroform on it for at least 3 minutes, or it's...
Right.
Don't believe the stuff you see on TV, kids.
And do not take a gamble on a fart.
No.
Hey, this guy,
nothing like that.
His 90th or 95th birthday for his grandfather. And he was sitting at the end of the table, and they said, speech, you know. Tell us what you learned in life. And he said, well, 3 things. The first is, if you ever have a chance to take a nap, take it. If you ever have a hard-on, use it no matter who you're with or where you are, and do not ever take a gamble on a fart.
There you go. You know?
I
heard a great dad joke this week, and I wanted to share it with you. While I was at work the other day, I was involved in an industrial accident and found out that my sperm had become electrified. Came as a shock to my wife.
Ooh. Oh, Dad.
Oh, it's so bad, isn't it? You just gotta love jokes like that.
Go back to the recliner.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Dad. Go back to sleep. You're fine. What are you drinking tonight? What are you enjoying as we're having to start off the show?
We got a little bit of the luck of the Irish here.
Ooh, Redbreast. Personal favorite of mine. Absolutely.
Hey, did you realize that if tits didn't have nipples, they'd be pointless?
There we go, kids. Now we are on a roll.
No, leave.
Well,
Oops, we forgot to tell the parents, make the kids leave the room.
Yeah. Good news. We've been banned from Apple Podcasts. That took us less than 3 minutes into episode 8. All right. Excellent.
Here we go.
I am drinking Basil Hayden red wine cask finish, and it is delicious. Absolutely love it. So
nice. You know, when you told me you were getting that, I was thinking of the Angel's Envy rum cask rye.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had that one yet.
No, it has a fantastic note. You know, the nose on it is excellent. It's just the right proof for me because I believe this is 80 proof.
Okay.
And it just has a rich, warm, just magnificent taste. So I really like it. I would highly recommend it. And I was on the podcast, the That Sort of Weird podcast last night with Iris and Mike, and I tried out a new bourbon from Axe and Oak. They're a distillery in Colorado Springs, and I had Colorado Mountain Bourbon Whiskey, and it was 95 proof, so it was at the upper end of the scale for me. But really had a nice, again, a great nose, and you know, a superb finish. I really enjoyed it too. So I've been I've been picking successfully of late.
So one more time, hold that bottle up. I want to see what that looks like again. One more time, hold the bottle up.
Okay, there we go.
All right. Well, I'll have to look for that.
And surprisingly enough, it was reasonable, for a Basil Hayden. Because I had seen them at the liquor store, and they're a little bit more expensive. At Costco, it was only $47.99, so it wasn't
that's
anything,
pretty good.
terrible. Well,
Yeah.
so, and I'm, as I've said on other podcasts and talked before, I'm not a huge fan of Jim Beam products, but this Basil Hayden is excellent. It's from the James R. Beam distillery, so not to be fooled with Jim Beam. So
Yeah.
there we go. All right. As always, in our show, we do 4 segments. The first segment is what's new in our collections, what have we added. Second segment is pipes. Third segment is tobaccos. And then the fourth section is our favorite Ask Us Anything. So what's new? So let's talk about Camp Southern Ground. We did an interview with Chris that posted on Wednesday, I believe, correct?
Right.
We did the interview Tuesday night, posted on Wednesday.
Yep.
Man, I've got the pipe, and again, we cannot say thank you enough to Mitchell from MBSD for sending us this wonderful, wonderful Peterson Christmas pipe. It's the 999 Fishtail. Absolutely, it's like a bent author. Just looks fantastic. And limited edition, obviously, as it's a Christmas pipe 2023. And Mitchell was so gracious and kind to send us one to give away. And if you don't know or haven't been, please go to mbsdpipes.com. Established in 2020, Mitchell has just been, one of our earliest supporters on the channel, and just really thankful that he did this with us. I mean, that was just magnificent, and once again, Tim's contacts come through like a champ. So,
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's
Mitchell.
great. And the raffle, as we discussed the last time, when we had Chris on the podcast, we wanted to sell. What did we say? 30 spots? Yeah, 30 spots at $20.
Yeah, 30 spots.
And raise $600. And as of tonight, we've got $360 raised. Okay. And so we're almost there, So, they're still available. If you want one.
Yep, and we'll post on Instagram. We'll put the link below. This is helping out a great cause, and we'd love for you to participate. And, who knows what'll come in the package with the Christmas pipe, and, some stickers from Mitchell and MBSD Pipes, and a couple of stickers from us.
There might be some other special things in there. You just never know.
That's right. Excellent. All right, so let's talk about what's new in your collection. What did you add to your collection in the last week, Mr. Beaumont?
Well, as usual, I've been busy adding to other people's collections by working my little fingers to the bone out there. I finished a duplicate of a Rattray's Yule pipe in burgundy with a green stem.
Ooh.
It's got some furls on there, cap and a ring. And this thing had some really nice grain. Just
it's
kind of straight up and down, really nice. Some bird's eye on the top, kind of hard to see, I think. But
gorgeous top line.
Anyway, this one is headed to Lafayette, Louisiana. And as they say down there, this is a knockoff Rattray. So,
Cher. She's a pretty one.
That's right. I did got a couple of billies done. Those are
I know what those
going to be
are.
Going out tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So.
Luckily, Tim made those. So my boss and one of the branch managers at where I work, I've been tempting them with pipe tobacco every time I visit with them, and they both really liked a particular blend. Says, "Man, I need to get a pipe." Wonder where I can get one of those. Maybe I'll call Tim.
Yeah,
Tim was gracious enough. We traded a little tobacco for a couple of pipes, and the next thing you know, these guys are going to get some pipes and tobacco from me, and we'll start them off on their pipe smoking journey. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Started on the right foot.
They're gorgeous pipes.
Yeah, they turned out good.
Get them a PapaBear's pipe.
Yep.
Yeah, they look spectacular. So excellent. All right. Anything else new?
No. Well, we're coming up on the middle of the month, Las Vegas time.
Mm-hmm.
Got the International Pipe Show in Las Vegas coming up, and that's in 2 weeks.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun.
Ah, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. How many pipes do you have ready for the show?
I have to go through the pipes that I've got because I want to take the best that I have. But I'm thinking I'll probably take 25 or 30 pipes. And these are all pipes that are not on the website yet.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So never before seen.
Brand new. Fresh out of the showroom.
Ooh. Tease us. Tease us with a couple of styles you're bringing.
Those calabashes I've been monkeying around with. I'll be bringing some of those with me. Got some of them.
Gorgeous.
Some little bit of this.
Oh, that's like a canted poker?
It's a what they call a cherry wood shape. So it's a sitter. Mm-hmm. And it's got, that's deep. That's probably about a 2-inch, a 2-inch deep. And it's a 20 millimeter chamber.
Oh, gorgeous.
This has got ironwood accents. Ironwood.
Ooh, ironwood.
Where's like iron? And let's see, what else I got in here? Some, just different. Different.
Yeah.
Try to be as, variety of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'm going to have a suitcase full of pipes.
All right. Okay. Excellent.
This Redbreast is pretty darn good.
Isn't that just as smooth as it could be?
It's got a great note too.
Yeah, no bite to it at all for me. I've got to get another bottle because I was like, well, I'll drink this one during the show. No, I won't. I don't have enough left.
Yeah, for some reason tonight it's kind of got the smell of apples or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
that's what I'm getting. Yeah.
The folks at Redbreast really did a nice job. So,
yep,
well done. All right.
Anything else know anything about whiskey?
No. Well, the Irish have a saying: God created whiskey so the Irish wouldn't rule the world. So,
I thought he created whiskey so everybody can get laid, even the ugly ones.
To each his own. Excellent. All right. Well, I have a bunch of new stuff this week. The first thing I'm going to talk about is I got a pipe from Nathan Archer at Archer Pipes, and it's this little bent Dublin. It's absolutely spectacular. I just really, really like this pipe. It is the perfect morning walk the dog pipe. It smokes like a champ. And as an inclusion in his gift, when you get a pipe from him, he's got a Archer's Pipe logoed pipe stand that snaps together that is made by, and I'm going to try to pronounce this as well as I can, Stacy, May Hurin Bespoke Works. She makes the pipe holders for him. She's on Instagram. She does leather work. She does some absolutely fantastic work. And it was just such a wonderful set. I just, absolutely love the personal touches, and to have his logo on the pipe stand, and Stacy did just an absolutely fantastic job on the pipe stand, and Nathan. I even asked Nathan if he wanted to do an interview with us, and he's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, I don't blame you because, all three of our listeners, probably not going to make a
Yeah.
difference for him. But
Yeah.
spectacular work.
That's a
and
nice
then,
pipe.
yeah. So if you all listen to some of the other pipe podcasts, Pipes Magazine did an interview with Jesse Culp from Oliphant Pipes. And Jesse and I have communicated back and forth, and he had gotten some tobacco from me. And he made a pipe that I saw that I absolutely had to have. And this is it's called the Drunken Dublin. Just an absolutely gorgeous pipe.
Yeah,
I got it yesterday. Absolutely love it. And, again, the personal touch. He wrote me this excellent card, which is, I really like handwritten notes. I send them out when I send stuff out, simply because it's that personal touch, and I was really impressed. And he made an excellent quality pipe. It's a fantastic, absolutely fantastic smoker. I had, the maiden run and the second run today I had to work today, by the way.
That sucks.
There's nothing like being up and going to work at 8 o'clock on Sunday. I had to work 8 to 5
you got to do it again
yesterday.
tomorrow now.
Yeah, well, I get to do it for the next 5 days. So
Yeah.
go team. So that was nice. And then Kevin Foster from Foster Handmade was listening to me talk about doing rum on some Navy blends. And he sent me some very special rums. He sent me Rum Fire and Long Pond as samples to see how they would do on a Navy blend. So I whipped up a Navy blend for him. And again, he sent me a great letter. And these are both Jamaican rums. So they're wonderful flavor. I had sips of each one of them. And I think what I'm going to do is make a Navy blend out of each one and see which one comes out best. And then send Kevin a sample and say, thank you so much for inspiring. I think that's one of the most, to me, that's one of the greatest compliments, that someone says, hey, I'd really like you to try this and make something, and I think you get the same thrill when someone asks you for a commission pipe, the pipe
great.
you made for Dan,
Yep.
It's magnificent. And then last but not least, as y'all know, I don't watch TV ever because it's even too dumb for my small mind. I got 2 new books. So I got All About Tobacco by Milton Sherman. He used to be the president of the American Tobacco Company, and he had a long storied career in tobacco, and I just thought it was an interesting read, and so I got this. It was an eBay special, and I'm enjoying it so far. And then I got Pipe, The Art and Lore of a Great Tradition. So, it's kind of a coffee table type book. Some great pictures in it. And it is from Robin Kroll, the author. And just, as a reader, anytime you can find something new on pipes and tobacco, you kind of have to add it to the collection.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's what's new here at Emerson Southern Forged.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Well, excellent. So let's talk about pipes. So you created those 2 pipes for me this week. Did you come up with anything new for the pipe show? Did you whip anything special out since our last episode? Or those 2 that you showed, the 2 new ones? Excuse me while I whip this out.
Good one. No, thank you. 24 is the limit on Schnitzengruben for me. Thank you.
We're going to do that in this episode. The 10 movies you have to watch to understand our humor. Mm-hmm. We're going to do that here in just a minute, because if you're a little bit younger and you haven't seen Blazing Saddles, stop what you're doing, turn the podcast off, find Blazing Saddles. It's on one of the streaming services, and fire it up, because wow, was that a funny movie?
Oh God, it's a crack up.
Yeah, absolutely spectacular. All right.
So the question was what? What was the question?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I've lost my place. Here we go. Did you create anything new, anything special, any commissions that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah,
Anything
there's
exotic?
been some new commissions that came in. There's one that it's a pair for a couple of buddies that were in the military together, and they asked me to create a couple of blowfish for them. And one of them
Oh,
is Chris actually, and his and a buddy of his.
oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so I like making a blowfish pipe. It's they're all you drill it, and then that's pretty much it. Everything else is done on the wheel and
No, okay. Hand shaped.
hand shaped. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the design that they've given me some direction on what they'd like to see, and I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be really interesting. And then going to be making a Magnum billiard, long shank,
Ooh.
sort of like an extra bing,
Mm-hmm.
and so that one should be fun. I'm trying to think of what else I've got. There's a couple of other ones that are in there that. I know. A reverse calabash. I've got an order for a reverse calabash. The only downside of it is that they want like nail rustication, and so the next time you see me, I'll have like these Popeye forearms, from that's
Bandages on your
oh
left
yeah,
hand. Where you
and in the stumble, you finish it and there's spots on it, and they always want to know, what are the spots from? That's from the sweat dripping off my nose.
I so Jesse Culp from Oliphant Pipes was on with Brian Levine, and he was talking about a couple of his rustication techniques, and he goes, "Yeah, the first time I used this one, I ran it through my finger, sheared the nerve off, and pierced his tendon." It's like,
Oh my gosh.
well, doesn't that sound like a fun way to make a pipe?
Yeah.
And that's why I make tobacco. Because if I run something through my finger in tobacco, something's gone really, really wrong.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. Those are the oops. They call that the oops.
Yeah. What's this
Man.
dark spot here? Oh, that's my DNA. It's not a project unless I leave some DNA on it.
Right. You wanted oxblood color, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I had this one here, biscuit joiner.
Oh.
The using it the wrong way, trying to get done, and the workpiece shot out of my hand, and that biscuit joiner, I felt it, like that on that thumbnail, and I put my hand around it, and I immediately ran in the house because I knew I was going to be on the ground pretty soon. I got like, I vagal out like right now, and
No.
I went in, got a bag of ice, and was laying on the floor with my feet up on a chair, and I took a picture of it and I sent it to this buddy of mine. He used to be our doctor, and I said, "Look what I did." And he's like, "Oh my God!" He calls me up, antibiotics. I didn't have to have stitches or didn't cut into the bone or anything, but man, tell you what, it hurt. So those things are metal and human flesh. Not a good mix.
Oh, it's not so much the metal; it's the speed at which the metal is moving that seems to cause
Right.
the most amount of problems.
I think you're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No. See, and that's why I don't have a lathe. When I was in 8th grade wood shop, you could pick any project you wanted, and I wanted to make a project on the lathe. And I didn't realize it at the time that the lathe that they had could spin in two directions. And I have no idea why it would do that, but it did.
Jeez.
And I had it going the wrong direction. And the second I put the lathe tool to it, it took it out of my hands and stuck it in the ceiling. And I don't mean
God.
like a little bit of stuck, like it was going to come down. It was up there. And if you go to Highland High School in Highland, Indiana, and go to the wood shop, up on the ceiling, there is a lathe tool stuck up there, and it has a yellow tag on it with my name from 1979. So, proud moments in life.
Uh-huh. My son, all the kids are walking across the stage for graduation, and they're getting diplomas and everything, and they gave you a target.
and a bill. Jim, that was a $90 lathe tool that you stuck up there. Oh, thanks.
Ugh.
Not everybody can do this.
Yeah. When we were in shop, I used to take these big, thick rubber bands and pinch them in a vise, and then take a bent nail, and you could pull that thing all the way back, and you let it rip, you know. And it's amazing how deep a nail will go into like a wall or, you know, a glue bottle or, you know.
Steve's forehead.
Man. Yeah.
You're looking a little loose.
We weren't real bright, but boy, we had a lot of fun.
Oh, you know, the statute of limitations has run out for me, so there used to be an Army-Navy surplus in Hammond that would sell us gunpowder in 5-pound bags. Ooh. Oh, Nelly. That's not the safest thing to put in the hands of 12-year-olds, but man, we had some fun.
Yeah. Man, the expansion on that stuff, huh?
No. Yeah. You know, how much gunpowder do you think it's going to take to push this little metal ball bearing any distance? Oh, I don't know. Half a pound?
Well,
are you trying to send it into orbit?
half a pound. Oh, jeez. Half a pound ought to be enough. Yeah, but the can's bigger than that. All right, well, then a pound.
Exactly. Put it in the hole and light it. All right. You know, the stupid stuff we did, you know, they just can't get away with now, you know. A couple of 12-year-olds riding their bikes. Yeah, we'd like to get 5 pounds worth of gunpowder there, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, this was not long ago. The popular thing was that tannerite. Have you seen that stuff?
Taconite, right?
Tannerite.
Oh,
I think tannerite is what they call it.
Tannerite?
Man, I'm
is
telling
that what it is? All
yeah,
right.
yeah. And, you know, you'd think I'd grow up. You'd buy these things, and they're like in a 1-pound container. And you just get a bigger container, mix it all up, and make a big one. And we put it inside of a refrigerator. And I'm not going to tell you how we ignited it because we'll probably get banned. But when it went off, you know how heavy a refrigerator condenser is? That thing's got to be 25 pounds. That thing went sky high, and everybody scattered. And there was like the door was here, and you know, it was just it was spectacular. But what a mess! And that was the point at which we went, you know what? We shouldn't play with this anymore because somebody's going to get killed. Because it was always, you know, if a little's good, a lot ought to be better.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. We found out how far croquet balls could go when fired out of a 4-inch black pipe. When you put enough gunpowder behind them, they'll go a long way.
Man, they go. Oh, wow.
What'd you guys do today? We shelled the neighboring community.
Yeah, right. Oh, and by the way, the croquet set's gone.
Blue ball number 4 is currently orbiting someplace else. Yeah. You know? The insanity of of youth. I'm just thankful I'm still alive and have 10 fingers. We could go
on and on. Those crazy stories of the stuff you did when you were kids.
Yeah.
Well, not even when you were kids.
Yeah. I mean, you bought tannerite and blew up a fridge recently.
I know.
You know.
I know.
No, that's half the fun of life.
But I did quit.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. New in tobacco world. Nothing. I have some test blends I'm working on. And surprisingly enough, someone came out and asked me, Matt from Lethal Precision, had asked me and said, hey, how do you test your blends? I said, well, normally I send them to the person that asked for them, or, you know, I'll send them out to Tim or Thomas or somebody. He goes, well, you know, I'm new to pipe smoking, and I'd really like to be your tester. Careful what you wish for, Matt, for you will surely get it.
Yeah.
So I've got some test blends that I'm going to put in the mail for him into next week, and he's going to test them out and see what he thinks. So
Nice. All
that's
right.
about all that's new in the world. Like, I'm going to work on a couple of custom navies with the rum that Kevin Foster sent me. So, that's kind of what's going on. I don't have any new tobacco. There really hasn't been anything new that's popped up. So,
Well, I'm excited to try the Harrison Cellar that you're making for me. Harrison's gone on and on about how he loves that tobacco blend. So I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. So let me tell you how that one's made. So I put a light coating of bourbon on it, and then I press it, and then I rub it out and put a barrel stave. So it comes in one of the 16-ounce jars.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit bigger, but it gives it a really enhanced kind of bourbon flavor.
Cool.
And Harrison does really, really like it. So it was his baby.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. A little skimpy on the Ask Us Anything. Noah from at Noah's House had a question for the show. Is there a blend style that you know or have heard of that is extinct, so to speak, that you might try to bring back? Not like Frogmorton. I mean like a style of blend, say, from the 1800s that fell away. Spectacular question, Noah.
Wow.
That is really good. Yeah, there is. So I had a conversation with Jay Furman last weekend, and I was talking about making so if you've seen a Scudo or some of the other, Bullseye Luxury Twist Flake where they're done in rolls, and I thought, okay,
yeah, right.
What if I made 3 like Robusto size cigars, where I take a little bit of Perique, some Virginias, maybe some Latakia, maybe some Burley. I haven't really, I'm working on the blend, but then wrap it in a Virginia leaf, because Virginia and Burley leaves are typically the large. You wrap it in Oriental, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
But, and rolling them up like a cigar, and then putting them in a press and pressing them and slicing them. And I don't know that that's all that extinct or dead. But I really thought it was something interesting and unique, because if you really twist those up tightly, it starts to meld the flavor. And then I think pressing it and slicing it will give it a really interesting kind of unique look to it. So
yeah,
that's one thing I'm working on. And then,
all right.
Go ahead.
No, I was just trying to think of what the slice would look, the cross section slice would look like. It would be sort of a swirled layer kind of thing, like you see with the Escudo coins, but it would be more oval shape, probably, right?
Well, actually, if you cross cut it, it will look like 3 or 4 eyes. So, I think it's really important in a blend like that you get the coloration right. So, there'll be some light colored Virginia leaves. There'll be some, I do want to put Perique in it, just because I think the alkaline content of Perique, and when you use it with flue-cured Virginias, kind of takes some of the acidity out and makes it more pH neutral, which is kind of what I shoot for. But it'll look like 3 or 4 eyes when you cross slice it.
Okay.
Like eyeballs.
Okay.
So that. But back to Noah's question about, I became fascinated with Dan Robert and his press that we talked about in episode 7. Where he takes whole leaf tobacco that he grows and presses it in that big press and cuts plugs out of it. I thought, okay. You have to, to smoke it in a pipe, you have to cut it into some slices, I would imagine. If you cut it into just a plug, it'll be easy to transport, easy to ship, but, you have to have a way to smoke it. And I thought what would be cool is to try to replicate some of the older, early American blends that were out. And I have a book on pipe tobaccos from the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to try to duplicate one of those, put something together. And, obviously I'll have a modern twist to it, simply because those tobaccos probably aren't available anymore. But, it's like, okay, well, it's got a layer of Burley, it's got a layer of Virginia. and kind of go on from there, and see what we can put together. But
That'd be neat.
Yeah. So that's
Do you have
kind of
any
the Ask
idea
Us
yet
Anything
how
for
you'll
today.
select the blend you're going to do?
I do. So somebody asked me how long I've been blending. In fact, Jesse from Elephant Pipes, how long have you been blending? I said, well, I started in 2000, and what I did was I bought every blending ingredient I could possibly get and smoked it. And then I started pairing them up and smoking them so I could see how the flavors paired together, and that kind of started the blending journey. And after a while, you kind of know how things are going to go together. Sometimes things surprise you and are much better than you thought, and other times things like my all cigar leaf blend, which came out just bland and flavorless, and go from there. So I have been on a vapor kick. I've made a lot of vapors recently, and I've been using more. I've got 5 different types of Cavendish that I use, and putting Cavendish and Stove Red Virginia in them. And I think for one of these older blends, you'll do that. And it's just a matter of understanding, kind of like how you understand how wood goes together, how you know things will look once they're polished up and sanded down. It's the same with tobacco leaves. You know how some are going to taste. A lot of people really like lemon leaf Virginia. It's got a light citrusy flavor to it, and other people don't like it because it's too tangy. And that's why we make so many different. That's why there's 10,000 different blends out there. There's something for everyone. So
yeah,
that's where we're at.
What really surprised me about the cigar blends is that they don't taste like a cigar, and they don't really smell like a. I mean, the tin note smells a little like a cigar, but when you smoke them, they don't smell like a cigar. So, what the heck is it with the cigar that it smells and tastes like a cigar, but the tobacco, not so much. In a pipe. I'm perplexed by that.
I've read up on it on making cigars, and I have no interest in it because it's laborious and time consuming, and I don't, I still work for a living, so, I don't, if I tried to make a cigar,
cigars are best rolled on the creamy young thighs of native girls,
Welcome to Trafficking with Jim and Tim. We're now banned from Spotify.
Well, look, I'm 65. Young is 40. So
yeah, exactly. And I just don't have it in me to roll my own cigars. I'm going to try this one pressing just to see, because it's a little bit less labor intensive. But when you look at cigar blends and the leaves that they use, typically it's, there's a filler, which is the center of the binder, the wrapper. And it's not what I would call a depth to it. There's just that cigar taste to it.
Right.
Rather than, it's not nearly, cigars aren't nearly as nuanced as pipe tobacco is, in my opinion. And
No, I agree with you.
I do like what cigar leaf adds to a blend, and I've made several. And, like Mountaineer's Resolve that I made from West Virginia Piper Jeff has some cigar leaf in it. It's fantastic. And, Blind Monkey has long been, since I brought it out, has been a favorite of people that like cigar blends. But, there's other stuff in it, that makes it more palatable. If you just smoke Blind Monkey by itself, you're like, I don't want to smoke this anymore, Jim. So, you've got to learn the pairings, and where I spend all my time is on the math. Once I pick 5 or 6 blenders or 3 or 4 blenders, then I work on the math so that I can get, Pear George is kind of my inspiration from Mac Barron, because I liked his nuanced blends. I try not to ever have like a 70% one thing blend. I just don't care for that. That's not nuanced to me. That's just, is what it is.
Yep.
So, all right. So we've gone through what's new, pipes, tobacco, Ask Us Anything. Now we're going to spend the next 20 minutes talking about 10 movies you need to watch right now to understand some of the humor of this podcast. And I'll let Tim start with the movie you should see right now.
Well, one of the famous lines that I like in this one is, "No, thank you, Delmer. I'm afraid half a gopher would merely arouse my appetite without bedding her back down." That's "Oh, brother, where art thou?"
All right. Excellent. Half a gopher. Yeah. Yeah.
"No, thank you, Delmer."
And the Soggy Mountain, or the Soggy Bottom Mountain Boys, the song
Right.
that they have in "Oh Brother, Wherefore Art Thou" is just absolutely the man of constant sorrow. Just
He had
spectacular.
babyface George Nelson. And he says, friend, some of your folding money's come unstowed. That's
You have to love the Farrelly brothers. They're absolutely
says,
fantastic.
"Oh,
And
George, not the livestock." All right, I'm done.
all right, fair enough. All right, so on my list, the Coen brothers, I absolutely love them. They've made some fantastic movies. But if you've not seen Raising Arizona,
Oh, my God.
we released ourselves on our own recognizance. We felt that the institution no longer had anything to offer for us. John Goodman and Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter, absolutely spectacular movie.
And Tex Cobb,
You know.
he was great in that.
The lone biker of the apocalypse.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so there you go. So
Yeah.
there's two. All right, Tim,
All right, well,
hit
then
me
you
with
got the
another
Big
one.
Lebowski. You got to have the Big Lebowski in there.
Oh, The Dude Abides.
The dude abides. Yep.
Oh,
You say those aren't bad men, Donnie. Those are nihilists.
shut the F up, Donnie. You're out of your element.
Right.
Ah.
And you don't fuck with the Jesus.
Another excellent movie. All right. My favorite line from this particular movie is, "Can I borrow your towel? My car just hit a water buffalo." If you haven't seen Fletch with Chevy Chase and Tim Matheson, I can't believe you bought this place. Hop along, Cassidy killed himself here. Very strange. Bow and arrow.
God. Young Frankenstein. That was a good one.
Oh,
You know, damn your eyes. Too late.
what brain did I put in this? Abby somebody. Abby
Abby
somebody?
normal.
That
They hear the violin playing mournfully. He comes across. He goes, "Still warm."
sedative?
Yeah, you rolled that one out, and everybody went,
Huh? What? Where did that come from, Jim? Young Frankenstein came out 1975. My dad took me to see that. It just me and him. And we were laughing and crying so hard during that movie. We sat through it again because I was dying. It was just as funny the second, and I still, every time that, Diane flips on Netflix, oh, is Young Frankenstein on there? Yeah, hit play. We're good. All right,
Well,
so Young
how about-
Frankenstein.
the boob tube. You remember that one?
Oh, and Kentucky Fried Movie, because I kind of think they're the same movie.
It's kind of the same thing. Oh, God.
Oh, the newspaper reporter interviewing that woman. Who? You good looking. Woo-hoo. We're going to call you Lionel. We're going to ride you like a train.
It was during the Vietnam War, and the guy's standing in front of a map, and he goes, we attacked the province of Suck Muck Dick today."
Catholic grade school girls in trouble. Oh, God. Yeah, the Groove Tube Kentucky Fried Movie. They're kind of the same movie. They're the same premise. They're just little
Right.
skits, and absolutely hilarious. So, all right, I guess it's my turn at this point. Oh, there's so many great movies. We already talked about Blazing Saddles, but if
Right.
you have not seen the movie Airplane with Robert Hayes and I believe Julie Christie.
That girl's all worked up on the plane. They start smacking her in the face. And there's a whole line of people. Guy's got a tire iron.
Yeah,
They're working her over.
Barbara Billingsley. Barbara Billingsley. Excuse me, stewardess.
Talking
I speak jive.
Jeez. He
Terry,
says,
what can you make of this?
that Peter Graves asked that kid, "Do you like magazines about gladiators?"
Little Tommy, have you ever seen a grown man naked before? Oh,
for
yeah,
goodness
have to
sake.
see Airplane. You know, Stephen,
and
what can you
Naked
make
Gun,
out of this?
then.
Oh, I could make a hat, yeah, a brooch, a pterodactyl.
Then there's Naked Gun too. You got to have Naked Gun's got to be in there
No,
with Leslie Nielsen.
gotta throw Naked Gun in there.
Oh God.
Th-
Oh, wait
that
a
one's
minute.
just chock full of it. Oh,
Yeah, and then it had Randy Quaid and Woody Harrelson in it.
Kingpin.
Kingpin. Yeah, Kingpin.
There we go.
That was a good one. Yeah.
All right. I absolutely loved the original Vacation and Christmas Vacation. If you haven't seen the original Vacation, you need to see it. Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo. Absolutely hysterical. You know, the dog scene, which little fella, bet he kept up with you for a mile or so.
Right. He passes, and he goes, "Eat my rubber."
Dad, I bet you could jump the car 50 yards. That's nothing to be proud of, Rusty. 50 yards. Oh,
And then in Christmas Vacation, where Cousin Eddie says, I got nothing between my brain and the out of doors but this piece of GI metal that they put in there. And if I put a dent in that thing, my hair just ain't going to look right.
sometimes when I turn on the microwave, I pee my pants and forget my name. My wife's favorite line from that movie is Beverly D'Angelo's talking to her sister, and Eddie says, I can quit one of my night jobs when the baby comes.
And one daughter goes, "I'm a real good kisser. My daddy says so."
Daddy says I'm the best.
Jeez. Things like that, humor like that, you can't get away with it today.
No,
Unfortunately.
no, you can't.
You know?
Yeah, that's why we have to bring it back here on this podcast. We will bring back classic humor.
Oh God.
All right, you got another one? We had Vacation and Christmas Vacation.
It's got to be another one.
Come on, Tim.
Oh, well, let's see. It was a bit funny. The Big Trouble in Little China. There were some funny parts in it.
I love that movie. Oh yeah. And when the 6'3" guy is bouncing your favorite head off of the back of your head off a wall, and he asks you if you've paid your dues, yes, sir. The check is in the mail. Kurt Russell just.
Kurt, he was great in that. Well, trying to think of. I'm starting to run out here.
Oh, you can't run out now. I mean, we've only done
13.
10 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. Ben will keep track. Ben, let us know how many we actually got to. We don't really care. We're just here having fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Did you watch Borat?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, that thing was hilarious. It was all such, like, inappropriate humor, the stuff that really makes you laugh. He visits Washington D.C. and he's telling people, my wife, what's he say? She's in my village. My wife is the third best prostitute in the village.
Oh. The third best.
The third
Anyway.
And he's got this congressman or some political official. He's got him eating cheese off of a little white paper plate with a plastic fork. And he says, in my country, my wife makes this cheese out of the milk from her breasts. And that cheese drops out of his mouth.
Yee! Wee! Oh. All right, so I guess it's my turn now. So movies that you have to watch to understand our humor. We've gone through so many great ones. Man, I'll have to think about this for a minute because, there's just so many movies with great lines that you just can't get away with anymore. And I miss it so. The original Blue Collar Comedy Tour, that was the first time I ever saw Ron White.
Yeah.
The video of it, and he's talking about being drunk on a flight from, Flagstaff to Phoenix, and he's hammered on the flight, and the pilot goes, "Yeah, we're having problems with the engine. We're going to have to put her down." And the guy next to Ron White starts losing his mind, and he goes, "How far do you think we'll make it?" He goes, "Oh, I bet we make it all the way to the scene of the crash. Bet we get there half hour before the paramedics."
Oh, God.
Oh. I didn't want to be drunk in public. I wanted to be drunk at a bar. They threw me out into public. And he just retired. Can you believe that? Ron White retired.
Yeah. I didn't think people did that, but apparently they do. Yeah, show business people, retiring.
Yeah, what the hell's up with that?
I know.
Like, what, are you overworked? Come on.
Right, I know.
Terrible.
So
Terrible.
the other one, that guy Sacha Baron Cohen that does the Borat thing. He did this guy, and it was Bruno, and he was he made off like he was like a real flamboyant, and he was in they stage all this stuff, and he's in the airport. And this box comes down, the carousel. It's on a slant, and things come down, and they hit, and they go around. Well, this box comes down, and it's got holes punched in it. He runs over, opens the box, and he pulls out a baby.
There you go. Oh, baby.
So he's on like one of these, like Jerry Springer or, like one of those shows where they interview somebody and everybody in the audience yells at him. And so he's on this show, and they're asking him, questions, and he's offending everybody. And he says, I have a baby now. And do you want me to bring him out? And they all clap their hands, and they're hooting and hollering. Well, he brings out this baby. It's a little black baby. And he says, and it's on his shirt, it says Gaby. Gayby. And he says, you know, you know, I acquired this baby. And they said, then the audience are screaming, how did you do it? He goes, I traded for it. And they go, what? He goes, an iPod. And they said, what's his name? He goes, I gave it a good black name. And they said, what's that? He goes, OJ. And these people were just like fucking frothing at the mouth. It was so inappropriate, but like hilarious. You couldn't help laughing at it.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Oh, I don't think I have. If you go see those movies, you'll start to understand our humor completely, because they're just delightfully, wickedly funny movies. So we'll make a list of them. We'll put it out. We'll post it on Instagram at some point here.
Yeah, they're good
when
ones.
we have a free minute. So, all right, excellent. Well, do we have anything else we want to talk about, or we want to wrap up? We can finish off the show talking about Tim being held hostage in that young woman's room, or we could do something else.
Yeah, well, one more item of business is it's the end of September, and we have our newsletter coming out. Whoops. Actually.
Mayday. Tim's down. He's down. For the love of God, Ben, how quickly can you get to him?
But anyway, the subscribers to my website, the www.pbhbp.com. If you're not a subscriber, go in there and subscribe, because we're going to be awarding this pipe in a drawing in the next few days. Once we get the newsletter written, and if you subscribe and if you win, we'll contact you. I will contact you by email, and we'll announce the winner both in the newsletter and then also on the podcast next week.
All right. There you go. No pressure. We just have to write that newsletter.
That's I know. Hey, all right.
Excellent.
Well, that was fun. That was fun.
It was. Yeah. We always have a good time when we chat. I mean, I think that's why we started the podcast, so you and I could just get together and laugh and let everybody else in on the joke. So.
I know. And honestly, with the humor, if you're ever offended, tough shit.
Fuck right off. Oh, by the way, we had people from corporate in, and we're getting ready to order lunch yesterday. And she comes running up and goes, I'm a vegan.
Oh, yeah?
And you could I wish there would have been a camera, because the five of us turned and looked at her like, okay, well, we're ordering from Philly cheesesteak. Do you want a cheeseburger instead? I mean, is that okay, or do you want a cheesesteak? Because that's what's
what
coming
we're
for
having.
lunch.
Right. Oh. Okay. I'll be vegan tomorrow.
Are there? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to bring this up before I forgot. Terry Brewster, our mutual friend, said, the only thing more annoying than a vegan is a vegan driving a Prius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
look
Terry,
at me. I'm a good boy. Who's the good boy?
Are you alone in your Prius right now, wearing a mask because you're afraid of COVID? Go ahead. Put the hammer down on that thing. See how fast you can go, and go for the nearest bridge abutment. Just take the exit to oblivion.
The nice thing, what they ought to do with the like Priuses and the Teslas is they ought to put like the little you ever seen the stickers with the family? They're like little stick drawings on the back window.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they ought to have those, but they're like all different sizes. but all skinny. And they represent the number of people in sub-Saharan Africa that had to give their lives so you could have a battery in your frickin' car.
Well, wasn't sure where you were going with that, but touche. That was awesome.
You know?
23 people gave their lives.
Mine that cobalt.
Yeah. One of the guys I work with is very environmentally concerned. And I brought up the fact that solar power and wind power never create the amount of power that it takes to actually build the solar panels in the windmill.
Yeah.
So your net effect is still bad for the environment. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, you got to dispose of those solar panels somehow. I don't know where all that goes.
Yeah. Not into car batteries, apparently. Not into EV vehicle batteries.
We'll just invade another third world, like Haiti, you know. We'll just send it all there. The world sends all their trash to Haiti anyway. You see pictures of Haiti, it's like, where's all that trash come from? Like, there's not even enough people there to make that kind of trash. It must come from other parts of the world.
Well, I'm always amazed when a hurricane hits Haiti and the newscaster comes on and goes, a hurricane ravaged Haiti today and caused $86 in improvements. And you just...
Right.
You know, the tar paper shacks didn't hold up. All right. Way to go.
Yeah. I mean, places like that where, you know, if you got anything on the ball, the first thing you want to do is get the hell out of there because it's, you know, it's just, you know, who can live there?
What are you going to do with your life? Well, I can stay here and practice voodoo in Santeria, or I can move off the island.
Yeah.
I choose option 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks. All right. Well, as always, thank you for joining us. If you want to get a hold of Tim, you can get a hold of Tim at...
Where would they get a hold of me at? Let me see. Oh.
Take your time.
It's
at the bottom of one of these, kids.
pbhbpipes.com or at Gmail. pbhbpipes@gmail.com.
All right. And also on Instagram at Papa Bear's Pipes, correct?
At Papa Bear's Pipes, yep, that's right. And then you can get a hold of Jim at Emerson Southern Forged.
Yep, on Instagram. And Emerson Southern at yahoo.com for an email address. So thank you all for joining us again for episode 8. We truly enjoyed doing the show, and we look forward to our interview with Dan Robert and episode 9 coming up in the coming week.
Have a good week, everybody.
Good night, Joe.